Guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit, I've been swamped. I got my wisdom teeth out recently, I still have swelling in one cheek. We're just gonna roll with it. Today I wanted to show you guys my production process, how I start with inspiration with a song, and then that leads to eventually the mastering process. This is probably gonna be a multiple part video. I might release other installments of this so you don't have to sit here and watch me do this for 20 minutes. Okay, let's go. Okay, so when I start a song, usually I end up starting with a melody. That's not always how it goes, but that's just normally how it goes for me. A lot of people start with drums. That's also something you can do. Sometimes I'll get inspired by a vocal track and start there, but usually it's a melody idea. So typically how I'll start a song is I'll go into my instrument or plugin rack, find some interesting sounds, start messing around with it. I would say that's how Define got started. Like almost all of the songs that are going to be on Define were started just surfing through my instrument rack. It's just kind of how I work. I would recommend when you're doing this to organize your files on Ableton. It makes things a lot easier when you're looking for samples and plugins, things like that. I'm going to write a song today. I'm going to start with an interesting sound and we're going to build off of that and see where it takes us. So I just recently bought a couple of plugins from Waves, but they're mostly vocal plugins and things, so we can't really start with that. One of my go-tos is Spitfire Audio. They have a BBC Symphony Orchestra and also their Labs plugin, which are both free, and that is what I use all the time. They're one of my favorites. So I think we're actually going to start with Labs today, because they have a lot of interesting sounds, and I think I have a list of a whole bunch of sounds that I really like to use, and sounds that I think are interesting. Labs Opia is one of those sounds. It's actually a pack of sounds that I like to use. It's a very interesting pack. So we're going to wait while this loads, and we're going to open up Opia and see what inspires us today. This is usually how I work in the studio. I just kind of go with the flow. That's probably a good way to put it. I go with the flow and I see what happens. So as you can see, I got lots and lots and lots of things here to work with. Ooh. So yeah, a lot of my studio time is spent going through my millions of packs and figuring out what I want to sound like today. I don't really know what I'm going for yet. I'm just sitting down and seeing if I can be inspired by something. And also, you know, do as I say, not as I do, but you should organize your things as best you can. Here it is. And sometimes if I don't get inspired by any of these sounds, I'll start with drums and then just kind of work from there. That might be where we're going today. Let's start with the pluck synth. Why not? I've been thinking a lot of my songs go with descending chord progressions, which is fine, but most of them have the same sort of descent. It's not the same notes, but it's the same descending pattern. So I've been thinking I want to do something that goes up. Okay, we're just gonna start with that. I just got a random ascending, that's the word I'm looking for, ascending progression in my head, and we're going to work with that. All right, I think I know what tempo. So another tip, when you're writing a song, it really helps to know what tempo you want the song to be in. Actually, that's like one of the first steps, and if you know the tempo, then you can work on from there. But if you have no clue what your tempo is going to be, it's probably falling apart. So I know, so I have a general idea of what tempo I want. 111-ish. Okay, so I don't know if I'll stick with this instrument, but it's a little weird, but it might work for now. So we're gonna change this just to 111, so it doesn't have a weird decimal point on it, and we're gonna record. Alright, so it's a little bit wobbly. We're going to quantize that so that it will all be on the lines. That is a very important trick. Always quantize your MIDI unless you want it to be purposely off. I don't know. There's certain situations that might be applicable to. Click Control D to duplicate. You have to be careful when you duplicate these clips though, because if they're not completely, yep, right here. If they're not completely at the end and you duplicate it, you'll actually be slightly off every single time, so you gotta be careful with that. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna save this. Don't know what I'm gonna call it. Uh-oh, Ableton's being a little glitchy today. We're just gonna call this... Oh, hasn't even popped up yet. When this screen pops up, we're going to call it a YouTube song, because that's what it is currently. YouTube song. And this will be in Singles 2023. Whenever you save your projects, always organize them as well. Organization is key, but whenever you're saving your projects, Ableton's a little weird. Whenever you save files, they're actually saved into projects. So if you save a file into another project folder, it's going to be lumped into a different song project. So always create a new project anytime you create a new file. Okay, so we've got that going for us. I really think I'm going to change this instrument. It's a little too wobbly. We might as well do that now. But I still want this bass sound in here somewhere. So it's actually best if you can find a file that's a C, because whenever you load it into Simpler, it will load it into the C selection. And if it's not a C, then you'll have a G or an F in the C like part of the keyboard, and it's going to be really annoying. So we're going to go with C2. Oh, whoops. I have double arming tracks on, so like whenever you arm one, you can also arm others at the same time. I wouldn't recommend. I only do it because I need to record several things at once occasionally. Okay, well, we're gonna do that. Seems like a nice sound to start with. If this is too low, just click down here in this little area, click Control A, and then use your little arrow to go up 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That should be 12? Yep. And then that will transpose it up a key. There's probably a button to transpose, I just haven't really figured that out yet. I haven't really had the time nor the care to look that up. Okay, so as you can see, this instrument ends as soon as you stop playing it, which isn't always the case, so now I gotta go through and edit this so it's exact. Okay, there we go. So now we got a starting thing going. So let's see. This kind of sounds like an electric guitar. I don't know how to play electric guitar, so it's kind of a cheat. So this song starts on an F. Wait, C, D, E, yeah, F. I try not to layer too many sounds of the same exact note together because then it just seems too thick. Also, when you're picking out your sounds, this is a nice time to start thinking about what melody you might want to sing to for the vocals. It's not a must, but it definitely helps. So now we're going to find notes that also layer with F, because I don't know if I want to start with F in the sub-octave bass and also in whatever this instrument is. Sub-chamber or something. But anyway, I don't know if I want to layer both of those sounds together on an F, because that's going to seem a little bit thick. So now we're going to look at other notes that might work. So what you can do is not transpose, but go up 5 semitones and get the like harmony, the +5 or +7 harmony. That's a lot of times where I find things, or I'll just play notes together and see when it works. See, there we go. So just by playing that +5 semitone, we have kind of both going on at the same time. I've also heard recently to layer like this sound together so that instead of having one F, we can also have an F up 5. So we're going to try to do that as well. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's, my brain is going at 400 miles an hour right now. So we're going to go and we're going to, it might actually work if we duplicate this and then do it. So instead of doing this manually, we're going to go Control A, and go up 5. And see if it sounds okay. I don't know yet. I might actually deactivate this for a little bit and we'll come back to it. But we definitely know we want that. Okay. This is a very major chord. It's actually just one big chord dissected and then played in a progression. So we're actually going to probably find a lot of notes that work with it. Okay, I think that's a good note. So now comes the experimentation part of this process, which is where you just play around with the same sound over and over again and see if you can find something that works. That's also a big part of my studio time. Okay, that might work. I think we're up to recording now. Alright, so now we are going to quantize this, and I'm thinking what we might do is gradually bring in this little bass line thing later in the track. Alright, this needs to be longer. Ooh, I'm thinking we should put some Valhalla on this. I got some of their free plugins. Where did I just put that? Oh, I see. I got some of Valhalla's free plugins of like echo and a little bit of like reverb things and space modulator. I can't afford buying the Valhalla Verb right now, reverb, because, or I think it's Vintage Verb, I don't remember, their version of the reverb plugin, so I just go with their free stuff. I don't really need another reverb plugin in my life right now, but it is something to look forward to eventually. So this is an echo plugin that I use a lot. You can change the echo settings on it, add different kinds of echoes, that sort of thing, and I just feel like I need a little bit more of a bigger space with these little like guitar plucks right now. Some quiet echoes. Possibly a dramata. Ooh, also what we can do is do something like Gemini and then turn the wet down. Wait. There's a way you can... The mix, that's right. So I can actually turn this all the way up and have nothing of the original sound and just have the echoes. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're actually gonna fade this in a little bit. I don't know how to apply the S fade onto MIDI tracks. So what we might do... Alright, well we might automate Valhalla later on, but we're just gonna... Maybe we're... kind of fade this in a little bit. Just a bit. Oh, that's a little too fast. We might actually automate Valhalla. That might be a good idea. We're actually going to turn this down. There we go. Okay, and I think I'm getting a feel for the drums on this, but I'm not going to put them in yet, because I don't really know. Well, or I could. I'm going to save this. Alright, you know what? I think we're going to stop here before we add drums, and then next time we're going to add drums, because this is a nice start, but I don't want to get too carried away with myself. So, thank you for watching this video. We have just completed the melody line and the bass line of this new song. We haven't given it a name yet. We haven't added drums or vocals, but that will be coming in the next couple episodes. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again next Friday.